Let's be honest, the most painful feeling a man can sit with isn't rejection, it's confusion. It's that quiet moment where you realize you're doing everything right, saying the polite things, showing interest, being available, and still she feels distant, cold, unmoved. And that silence messes with your head more than a clear no ever could, because deep down you're asking a question you don't say out loud. How does desire actually start? Not attraction on paper, not logic, not effort. Desire. Here's the truth most men are never told, and I need you to hear it without flinching. Desire is not created by convincing. It's not negotiated, and it's definitely not rewarded for good behavior. Desire is emotional motion. And right now, if she's not interested, it's not because you're lacking value. It's because the energy you're bringing is static. Women don't fall for words first. They fall for states, the way you carry yourself. Into a room, the emotional weather that shifts when you speak, the subtle feeling that something is happening around you that doesn't need her approval to exist. That's why men who try less often spark more interest. They're not trying to win. They're moving somewhere and she's deciding whether to join. When a woman feels no desire, it's usually because she already knows your emotional destination. You're predictable, safe in the wrong way. Your interest is obvious, your availability constant, your reactions familiar. There's no tension, no uncertainty. And without emotional tension, desire goes dormant. This doesn't mean becoming cold or cruel. That's weak imitation. Real attraction begins when you stop orienting your inner world around her response, when your happiness doesn't rise and fall based on her text speed, when your tone says, I enjoy you, but I don't need you to complete me. That emotional independence is rarity. Rarity is magnetic. Here's something uncomfortable, but powerful. Women are drawn to men who feel slightly out of reach emotionally, not because they're unavailable, but because they're self-contained. Their life is already in motion, their standards already set, their direction already chosen. When she senses that, curiosity wakes up. And curiosity is the doorway to desire. If she's not interested right now, the worst move is to push harder. Pressure suffocates attraction. Desire needs space to breathe. When you pull your focus back onto your mission, your body, your growth, your purpose, something shifts. You stop asking silently for permission to be wanted, and that alone changes how you're perceived. A woman doesn't want to be your emotional oxygen. She wants to feel something when she's near you. Challenge, intrigue, groundedness, depth. Those emotions don't come from chasing. They come from presence, from knowing who you are, without needing validation. And here's the part men almost never consider. When you stop trying to spark desire, you often become the spark. Not because she owes you interest, but because you've become a man whose energy invites choice, not obligation. That's where real attraction begins, not in tactics, not in tricks, but in the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth, even if no one is clapping yet. Most men misunderstand why attraction fades or never starts. They assume interest is a switch you flip with the right sentence, the right compliment, the right timing. But attraction doesn't work like that. It's more like gravity. You don't chase gravity. You become heavy enough that things start to move toward you. When a woman says she's not interested, what she usually means is that nothing inside her is being activated. No emotional contrast, no internal pull. She doesn't feel unsafe, but she also doesn't feel awake. And comfort, without stimulation, creates emotional sleep. Here's a truth that might sting at first. Over. Explaining yourself kills desire. When you justify your intentions, clarify your feelings too early, or try to reassure her before she asks, you're leaking power, not dominance presence. You're signaling that her approval is the center of your emotional universe. And desire cannot grow where imbalance lives. Women are wired to respond to emotional leadership. That doesn't mean control. It means direction. When you speak, do your words move somewhere? When you make plans, do they feel like invitations or negotiations? When you listen, do you hear her words or the emotion underneath them? Emotional leadership is subtle and it's felt before it's understood. Think about the men women talk about when no one's around. It's rarely the guy who chased hardest. It's the one who made her feel something she couldn't explain. Slight tension, playful challenge, calm. Certainty. He wasn't trying to impress, was expressing, and expression is infinitely more attractive than performance. If she's not interested, one of the fastest ways to shift the dynamic is to stop trying to be liked and start being felt. That means slowing down your responses, letting silence exist, saying less, but meaning more, allowing her to wonder what you're thinking instead of filling every gap with reassurance. Mystery isn't about hiding, it's about depth. When your life has layers, when your emotions aren't dumped all at once, when your attention is selective, she senses that knowing you would take time, and the human mind values what it can't instantly consume. Another uncomfortable truth: desire often begins after restraint. When you don't immediately pursue, when you don't overinvest before she earns access to your inner world, you're communicating self-respect. And self-respect is contagious. It forces her to reassess the dynamic, to see you not as someone seeking validation, but as someone who chooses. This is why men who suddenly pull back without bitterness, without game soften, see interest rise. Not because distance is a trick, but because it restores polarity. It reintroduces uncertainty, and uncertainty, when paired with emotional safety, creates intrigue. You don't spark desire by proving your worth. You spark it by living as if your worth is already assumed, by allowing her to discover you instead of presenting yourself for approval, by trusting that the right energy doesn't chase, it attracts. And when you embody that, something powerful happens. Even if she never becomes interested, you do. You step into a version of yourself that no longer begs to be chosen because you're already choosing your own path. There's a moment every woman feels before desire shows up, and most men completely miss it. It's the moment she pauses internally and thinks, "This man is different from how I expected him to be." That pause is where attraction is born. Not when you agree with her, not when you impress her, but when you subtly disrupt her assumptions without threatening her sense of safety. Many men believe being agreeable makes them attractive. In reality, constant agreement makes you invisible. When you mirror her opinions, validate everything she says, and avoid tension at all costs, you remove contrast. And without contrast, there is no spark. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop reacting and start responding. Reaction is emotional dependence. Response is emotional control. When she tests you through sarcasm, distance, or indifference, and you stay grounded, playful, and unbothered, you communicate strength without saying a word. That calm steadiness is deeply attractive because it signals emotional maturity. Women don't chase excitement alone. They chase emotional safety inside excitement. That combination is rare. It's the man who can challenge her perspective without attacking it, who can tease without cruelty, who can hold eye contact in silence without rushing to fill it. That presence tells her you're comfortable in yourself. Comfort in oneself creates curiosity in others. If she's not interested, one of the most powerful things you can do is stop over-investing emotionally, not to punish her, but to protect your own center. When you continue giving energy to someone who hasn't earned it, you communicate low boundaries, and low boundaries reduce perceived value, no matter how kind your intentions are. Desire grows when a woman senses that your attention is valuable and selective, that you don't give it away just because you're attracted, that you observe before you invest. This doesn't make you distant. It makes you intentional. Another truth men rarely hear: women often become interested after they feel seen, not chased. When you listen without trying to fix, when you reflect her emotions instead of trying to impress her, when you notice details others miss, that depth of attention creates emotional intimacy. And emotional intimacy is the soil where desire grows. But intimacy doesn't mean emotional dumping. It means pacing, letting connection unfold naturally, trusting silence, trusting timing, allowing her to lean in instead of pulling her closer. If you want to spark desire where there is none, you must become a man who doesn't need desire to feel whole. Paradoxical, but true. When your identity isn't anchored to her response, you create space for attraction to emerge organically. And here's the quiet power in that. Even if she never crosses that line, you've still won. You've trained yourself to move through the world with self respect, emotional strength, and clarity. Those traits don't just attract women, they build men. Desire isn't something you force into existence. It's something you allow by becoming the kind of presence that invites it. At some point, every man has to confront a hard truth. Wanting someone more than they want you puts you in a losing position emotionally, not because desire is wrong, but because imbalance is felt instantly, even when it's never spoken. Women sense emotional imbalance the same way you sense tension in a room, and once it's there, attraction struggles to breathe. If she's not interested, one of the most powerful shifts you can make is internal, not external. Stop asking, how do I make her want me? And start asking, am I living in a way that makes me proud of myself? That question recalibrates everything. Because when a man respects himself, others feel it. Here's something that almost sounds too simple to be true. Desire grows when a woman feels she has to qualify herself to you, not through manipulation, but through standards. When you know what you want, what you won't tolerate, and what you value, you stop auditioning, you observe, you assess, and that role reversal changes the emotional dynamic instantly. Most men think attraction is about adding more texts, more compliments, more effort. In reality, it's often about removing excess, removing neediness, removing urgency, removing the fear of loss. When those disappear, what's left is calm confidence. And calm confidence is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who can walk away peacefully, not in anger, not in ego, but in self respect. When she senses that you enjoy her presence but don't cling to it, she feels free to choose. And choice is essential for genuine desire. Obligation kills it. Another layer men overlook is emotional unpredictability, not chaos, but depth. When your emotions aren't flat or overly expressive, when you don't reveal everything at once, you become intriguing. Not because you're hiding, but because you're layered, and layered men invite curiosity. If she pulls away and you remain centered, something interesting happens. You break the script. Most men chase. When you don't, you stand out, not as a tactic, but as a reflection of your inner stability. And that stability creates a sense of safety that allows attraction to resurface. But listen carefully. This isn't about waiting around silently. It's about redirecting your energy into your own life, your goals, your health, your discipline, your friendships. When your life feels full, your interactions feel lighter, and lightness makes desire possible. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you'll be okay whether she chooses you or not. That energy is felt immediately. It says, I'm here because I want to be, not because I need to be. And that distinction changes everything. Even if she never becomes interested, you've stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't chase validation. And paradoxically, that's the version women notice the most. Here's the part almost no one tells you because it forces responsibility back into your hands. Desire isn't sparked by what you want from a woman. It's sparked by what you embody around her, and embodiment can't be faked for long. Your nervous system tells the truth before your mouth ever does. If you walk into an interaction hoping she'll like you, feel you, choose you, that hope leaks out as tension. She feels it in your tone, your timing, your eyes. But when you walk in grounded, already fulfilled, already aligned, your presence feels different, relaxed, solid, unrushed. That's when curiosity starts to wake up. Many men confuse emotional openness with emotional exposure. They overshare early, thinking vulnerability creates connection. But premature vulnerability creates pressure. Real connection happens when emotions are revealed slowly, intentionally in response to trust, not as a bid for closeness. A woman becomes interested when she senses that knowing you would take time, that you're not performing a role but revealing a character. Someone with a past, principles, contradictions, and direction. That depth invites exploration, and exploration is where desire grows. Another hard truth. You cannot negotiate attraction with consistency alone. Being always there doesn't build desire. It often dulls it. Desire needs rhythm, presence then space, engagement then detachment, not as a game, but as a natural reflection of a man who has priorities beyond one person's approval. Watch what happens when you stop chasing emotional certainty, when you don't need to know where you stand at every moment, when you allow ambiguity without anxiety. That emotional tolerance signals strength. And strength is attractive because it implies capacity. Capacity to lead, to protect, to remain calm under pressure. If she's not interested, your job isn't to convince her otherwise. Your job is to remain congruent with who you are becoming. When your actions align with your values, your energy stabilizes, and stable energy creates trust even before attraction. Women often feel desire after they feel respect, not admiration. Respect. Respect for your boundaries, your time, your self-control. When you don't bend yourself to be chosen, you send a powerful message. I choose myself first. That doesn't repel the right women, it filters them. And filtering is essential. Not every woman is meant to desire you, but the ones who do will feel it deeply because it's not based on performance. It's based on alignment. Here's the paradox that changes everything. The moment you stop trying to spark desire, you become more desirable because your attention becomes a gift, not a plea. Your presence becomes an experience, not a transaction. This doesn't guarantee her interest. Nothing does, but it guarantees something more important. You won't lose yourself trying to be wanted. And a man who doesn't abandon himself radiates something rare in today's world: quiet authority. That authority isn't loud. It doesn't beg. It doesn't explain. It simply exists. And when it does, women don't feel pushed toward you. They feel pulled. Desire doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to presence. And presence is built when you stop outsourcing your worth to someone else's reaction. That's the shift. And once it happens, you never go back. Now, let me leave you with the truth that ties everything together, the one most men only realize after years of trial and disappointment. You don't spark desire by chasing interest. You spark desire by becoming a man whose life is already in motion with or without her. When a woman feels that energy, something inside her wakes up, not because she has to choose you, but because she wants to understand you. Desire isn't logical. It's emotional recognition. It's the feeling of standing in front of someone who is grounded, self-directed, and emotionally sovereign. A man who doesn't rush connection, doesn't fear silence, and doesn't shrink when interest isn't immediately returned. That steadiness creates a kind of gravity that can't be faked. If she's not interested today, that doesn't define your value. It reveals where your focus needs to return back to yourself, back to your standards, back to the man you're building when no one is watching. The irony is that the moment you stop trying to extract desire from a woman, you give it room to appear naturally. Women don't fall for men who ask to be chosen. They fall for men who are choosing a direction and inviting others to walk beside them. That invitation feels safe because it's optional. It feels exciting because it's real. And it feels rare because most men never develop the patience to live that way. Here's something to sit with. Attraction often shows up after detachment, not before it. When you emotionally release the outcome, when you're okay whether she leans in or walks away, you reclaim your power. And power, when it's calm and controlled, is deeply attractive. But even if no woman ever responded differently tomorrow, this mindset would still be worth everything because it gives you something no one can take: self-respect, clarity, inner alignment. Those qualities don't just improve your dating life, they improve your entire life. Now, I want to ask you something personal, and I want you to answer honestly. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much of your happiness right now depends on someone else choosing you? Drop that number in the comments. And if something in this video hit you deeper than you expected, let me know why. Like this video if you felt the truth in it. Subscribe if you're ready to become a man who attracts without chasing. And share this with a friend who's been trying too hard to be wanted because he needs to hear: